Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. In today's video, we're going to be talking about doing things big. And the first thing I want you to understand is that all of God's assignments are big assignments. God didn't give small assignments out. People think God gives small assignments out because most people ain't doing the assignment that they got. They kind of rush to the bottom and do the opposite of what that actual assignment is. For example, in the garden, when God starts giving out instructions or assignments to Adam and Eve, he lets them know my assignment is really big. You can have every tree that's in this garden. Just don't mess around with the little one in the middle of the garden. Why? Because you have a big assignment. All right. So everybody put BA in the chat and let's get started. All right. BA. They say, what kind of degree do you have, Brother Ricky? I said, I have a BA in everything I do. They say, what do you mean by that? Everything that's been assigned to me is big. So I have a big assignment. If you believe that about your life, put BA in the chat and let's get this party started. I'm gonna rock with you. All right. I'm amazed at people. I'm like, why are you doing such small stuff? I'm like, that ain't your assignment. They're like, man, I don't understand my assignment. I'm like, if you got your assignment from God, it's big. God don't give out no little assignments. God is big. He don't even know nothing about little. Are you hearing me? I'm just saying, most of the time, the action the person is taking, I'm like, that's not a big action because you didn't get that from God. All right. God only give out what? BA degrees. What? Big action degrees. Everything that we do is big. Now, you hear what I'm talking about? Big assignments. Big assignments create big actions. We don't take little actions and little baby steps towards stuff. We take big action and big steps towards whatever it is that we're doing. Why? Because we ain't afraid to even make a mistake because we know what? It's got to be big. That's why we make mistakes. They big mistakes. Most people don't like to make a mistake. I'm like, not only do you need to make some mistakes, but you need to make some big mistakes. You hear what I'm talking about? In order to get a big assignment, you got to make big mistakes. Look, the race ain't given to the fast or the swift, but to him that endures to the end. And anybody that's not willing to make a mistake is not fit for the kingdom of God because you got to make big mistakes to have big assignments. Big assignments carry big mistakes. You can't do things being worried about making mistakes and being worried about being incorrect because there ain't no humility in that. Humility is that, look, I know I'm going to make some mistakes. Let's go. All right. And then why? Because the mistakes are necessary for a sample size because you can't do nothing big until you what? Until you learn how to make some big mistakes that create what? Big action based on what you got a big assignment. A big assignment means that what you're going to make some mistakes. All right. So everybody put BM in the chat because your BA equals a BM. I'm going to put it in there. I made some big mistakes in my life. Yeah. I made some big mistakes. I found out I shouldn't do it that way. But what I was going for big. So when I made the mistake was big. Are you hear what I'm talking about? But I wasn't tripping on, all right? Because I was like, you know what? God still loved me just because I made some big mistakes. Are you hearing me? God still love you because you made some big mistakes. In fact, God would love you more if you made bigger mistakes. Why? Because he see that you're going big. He gave you a big assignment. And he said you handling that big assignment. So he's like, yeah, you kind of messed that up pretty bad. All right. But I'm a forgiving God. And I saw that you was going for it. And God is like, I appreciate that because what? I gave you a big assignment. So when you messed it up kind of big, but that's okay. Because now what? Now you get back on your feet and now you can handle your business. Okay. So that's the first thing about God. He gives out big assignments. So it's three big things I want to talk to you about. And before we go any further, at the top of the hour, I'll be doing my free barter class. So if you want to do it big with me tonight and see how we put in $96,000 in the bank and got $1,042,000 tax return because we do big stuff. All right. So if you want to learn how to do it big, you can come to our class tonight. We're having a big class and it's free. I'm gonna put my check on the screen. I'm gonna put the check on the screen that I'm gonna put the check on the screen that Shantae got. I'm gonna show you how she got it. I'm gonna show you the papers that was filed for it and all of that. All right. It's gonna be on the screen, but you got to come into the private Zoom. So if you want to come tonight, just put the word barter. We're going to be doing that at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So that's about a half an hour. So if you want to come, just put the word barter in the chat. We'll send you the link. If you're not already signed up, if you signed up, good for you. Because tonight we're going to teach you some big stuff. All right. So it's three big things that I want to talk about and that we should be pursuing. All right. Number one, we should be pursuing big marriages. All right. You say what? Big marriages. All right. So everybody put big marriage in the chat and let's keep going. All right. You say, what are you talking about, Ricky? Marriages are partnerships. Okay. And there's three kind of partnerships that pretty much you're going to have in this life. The number one marriage is going to be with God. It should be a big marriage. I mean, what is that? I mean, you should be taking up God. You should be serving God like you ain't got no tomorrow. Why? Because this is a big marriage between you and God. That's the first big marriage I would get. Because a marriage means that two entities or two forces have come together. And it's amazing how people are pussyfooting around with these marriages. Right, hearing me got their little pinky toe in and all that. I'm like, no, make it big. All right, make it big. I'm not talking about the wedding. All right, that's cool. If you want to spend some money on a wedding, it's cool if you want to buy a big rock and all that sort of thing. I'm talking about the marriage. Are you hearing me? Have a big marriage. Everything that we do, let's do it big. Are you hearing me? Why? Do the big thing. So because people are not really committed to each other because they got their mind on other people, and then they got their mind on their own agendas. But I'm like, why have your mind on another agenda? Just be all in on the agenda of being the biggest partner you can be. All right. So everybody put BP in the chat because you want to be big partners. All right. Are you hearing me? I don't like messing around with little poo butts. You want to partner with me? I'm like, well, you're a big partner. You're like, well, I'm not really a big partner. Well, you need to move on because I don't do stuff little. All right. And I don't trust what little partners. So you ain't gonna come around here being all half-hearted, being all half into something and all this sort of thing. Why? Because everything that we do is a marriage, and I have a big marriage with God. I know a lot about God. Why? Because I'm married to Him. So we talk a lot up here. I listen to what He has to say. I read a lot, study Him a lot, pay attention to all of His nuances and stuff, minister to Him a lot. You say, what are you talking about? Yeah, I minister to God. Why? Because what? We're supposed to minister to God. You're supposed to always want to be ministered to. Why? Because God loves a cheerful giver. So when you do something cheerfully, then that's ministering to God. Because God's like, man, you did that on your own fruition without nobody begging you to do nothing, and you did it big. Are you hearing me? When I go to, I study God, and we have a big marriage. We don't have no little marriage. We got a big marriage. God tells me a lot. Why? Because I'm in love with Him. How about you? Are you in love with God? See, when you're in love with somebody, they just start telling you stuff. They just start revealing themselves. They just start showing you who they really are. They just lower their gods down and do what? And say, man, let's get it on. You hear what I'm talking about? Me and God, just like Marvin and Gay. I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, Lord, come on. Oh, come on. Woo! Let's get it on. That's how me and God get down. I don't know about you. But I'm like, Lord, let's get it on. Show me some stuff. You know how Moses was? Moses was married to God. So Moses was so close to God until he got beside himself at one time. He up in a mountain kicking it. And Moses like, you know what? You've been kicking it with me like this, talking to me like this, just me and you one-on-one. He said, Lord, come on, show me your glory. Now he got a little excited now because you can't look at God's face and live, right? So God had to calm him down a little bit. He said, hey, Mo, I know we're kicking it. And I know we're doing big things together. And I gave you the 10 Commandments up here. I got your face shining like brand new money. I done opened up the Red Sea and drowned the Egyptians. You hear what I'm talking about? I done sent flies and locusts, and I brought y'all out of Egypt with a great deliverance. You got a stuttering problem, and I done made you what, the spokesperson for a whole country. But me and you, we walking, we like this here. You know what I'm talking about? We knee deep with one another. We skin tight with each other. He said, but Mo, I can't show you my. He said, you can't look at my face and live, Mo. He said, I ain't mad at you because we so close until you asking me big things. You're like, you know what though? He said, you can see the back part of me though. He said, and when I pass by, he said, you know what? If you just see my hinder parts, you'd be all right. So Moses will look at God's hinder parts and come down out the mountain, what? Shining like brand new money. Why? Because him and God was so close, they were married. I hear him talking about, but it was a big marriage. It wasn't what? It wasn't no little 1 foot in, 1 foot out, that little poopa stuff that everybody be trying to get away with because people be having their own agendas. I'm telling you today that if you're going to do something, do the big thing. Don't do the small thing. Why? Because you get 20 times, 100 times, a million times more out of doing the thing big. It takes the same amount of time to do something big as it takes same amount of time to do something small. But when you get used to doing big things, small things, they lose their appeal to you. You hear what I'm talking about? We're gonna always be tempted to be petty. All of us will. But what I'm talking about is when you get married and you are into the marriage. I'm talking about the marriage to God. Then what? The small stuff, it starts becoming less and less alluring. Why? Because you doing such big things. You hear what I'm talking about? And you are enamored in big. Everybody put EIB in the chat. Have you ever been enamored? Do you even know what enamored means? EIB. Put it in the chat. Do y'all even know what the word? Do you know what the word enamored means? That means like caught up. EIB. Enamored in big. See, when you and God get married, I mean, when you get married for real, and drop all those fake gods, all them little poo butt gods, all them little gods ain't about nothing. When you get really married to God, you get enamored in big. It's like, I don't even know how to do nothing little no more. Why? Because my God is so big. So every move I'm making is based on the assignment that he gave me. He keeps giving me a bigger assignment on top of a bigger assignment. That's the way God works. But you don't know that until you get married to God, until you do what? EIB, enamored to big, not D, EIB, enamored. Enamored means you caught up. Enamored means when you look in somebody's eyes, you know, enamored means you're in love. You hear me? You got them puppy eyes. You know what I'm talking about? You look at some and it means you strung out. You hear what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? It's like God done strung you out like a love crackhead because you're so in love with God, because that's what a marriage is like when you do it big. Are you hearing me? It's like spontaneous behavior, you know? You don't really even think about what you're getting ready to do too much. Why? Because y'all just walking step in step. So the first thing I would do is that I would have big marriages. And the biggest marriage I would have would be the marriage between me and God if I was you. And then you'll start finding out what? That God does big things, and he'll do big things with you because all of his assignments are big. God don't give little assignments out. What happens is that people take God's big assignment and then they go do the little part of it. God's assignments ain't never big. They always big assignments. All right. Everybody put in the chat ABS or ABA rather. Always big assignments. God never gives a little assignment. It's always big. You say, Brother Ricky, my life ain't that big. That's because you ain't doing an assignment. How dare you squinch God down like it's something wrong with him? Like what? Like he giving out little assignments. He ain't giving out no little assignments. He give out big assignments. All right. It's just that what? If you ain't doing an assignment, then it look little to you because this thing is personal. You hear what I'm talking about? I know what I'm talking about because I live a big life. I live a big life and I never go back to living a little life again. Are you hearing me? Why? Because I done got used to having big things. Are you hearing me? I'm used to having big stuff. I don't want to be bothered with nothing little no more. And I done found out that God ain't no respect of persons. All right. The Bible says, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God. How much wisdom you want? As much as you want, ask for it. Are you hearing me? Why? Because he ain't running out of nothing. Are you hearing me? God ain't running out of nothing. So that's the first marriage. The second marriage is the marriage between a man and a woman. Man, a marriage between a man and a woman, it ought to be a big marriage. You hear what I'm talking about? A big marriage between a man and a woman. Why? Because the Bible says if one will put 1,000 to flight, two people will put 10,000 to flight. So a marriage between a man and a woman, it just pays big dividends for a myriad of reasons. The first dividends that it pays is that you got one person over here doing big things. You got another person over here doing big things. And then you have a child. So what your child is what? A giant. Why? Because you a big person and your spouse is a big person. So when you have a child, man, that child is huge. Are you hear what I'm talking about? And it's so much fun to have what? A huge child. What? Because they ain't got no choice but to be huge because two big people made them. Are you hearing me? That's the first thing I would do. If I was in a marriage with a woman, first of all, marriage gotta be between a man and a woman. If you're not married, if you're a man and you're married to a man, that's not no real marriage. That's a fake marriage. You're just in some witchcraft. So you just need to repent, get on your knees. And if you're a woman and you're married to another chick, that ain't no marriage. That ain't no Bible marriage. All right. That's some man-made witchcraft, rebellious stuff. And fortunately for you, we live here. So God didn't kill you because we still live here. All right. Because God ain't gonna kill the righteous with the wicked. So that's why you're still alive. So you need to be thanking God you're still alive and stop blaspheming. I'm not talking to you. All right. I'm talking to you. I'm warning you. Y'all, that's the dude that's married to another dude. You chicks that's married to another. I'm warning you. Don't you run around and talk about praise the Lord. I'm not talking about you. All right. You just cut that nonsense out. You hear what I'm saying? So the way God works though is that when two people get together and they do it big, man, all kind of stuff happens. The money starts growing faster. The ability to get something done because one person is doing one thing while the other person is doing something else. You can't even describe it. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? So big assignments, big marriage assignments, big marriage assignments. The next one I would do, the second one I would do is first being married to God, then being married to to um, to a man or a woman. Then the third thing is I would have a good business partner. And I would have a marriage with a business partner. I'm just talking to y'all about doing it big because God's assignments are big. And when he assigns something, he's going to always sign you a business partner too. Why? But it's going to be a big business partner. Why is that? Because God ain't got no little business partners. And the only way that you won't have a big business partner is if you just turn down the assignment. So some of y'all doing business with people right now. You like this little poop, but Ricky, they can't keep up with me. I'm like, that's because that ain't God's assignment. That's an assignment that you ignored whoever God's assignment was, because God don't give no small assignments. Are you hearing me? He don't give you no a business partner that's going to be a pain in your butt. He don't give you no business partner that's going to be robbing you. He don't give you no business partner that's going to be lying and cheating and conniving and ain't showing up and all that sort of a thing. That's a business partner that you picked. That ain't the business partner you was assigned to. Are you hearing me? I'm talking about today about there's three things that you want that God does big, and they all assignments, but they big assignments. And the first one is the assignment of what? Big marriages. Big marriage to God, big marriage to your spouse, and a big marriage to your business partner. Are you hear what I'm talking about? And you know it's big. Why? Because you see big results. Everybody put BR in the chat. See, me and my business partners, we get big results. Why? Because I vetted my partners. I'm like, man, God big in my life. What about yours? They like, man, I don't know nothing about God. I'm like, well, you move on then. All right. Because I ain't going to be in business with you. I'm not going to sit here because me and you ain't got nothing in common. So I'm sitting there talking about big stuff. Every time I say something, you're slow behind. You'll be contemplating everything we're talking about. Them little buster partners y'all got that's putting a monkey wrench in y'all program and slowing y'all down and stuff. God didn't assign them people to you. Are you hearing me? Because how can two be together? How can two walk together except they agree? And if you ain't agreeing on big things, they ain't come from God, because God don't do nothing but big stuff. He don't do small stuff. If you got a business partner right now, and every time you say up, they say down. Every time you say come, they say go. Every time you say in, they say out. Every time you try to make a move, they're trying to do something that's contrary to you. Fire them and get you another partner. All right. Why? Because it's time for you to do big things. You're not going to do big things with no little person. Are you hearing me? They not your assignment. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? This ain't nothing to be arguing about. This stuff is not negotiable. Are you hearing me? You got to be thinking big in order for y'all to get something big done. Now you got to be behaving big in order for y'all to get something big done. And you ain't got time to be doing a whole bunch of arguing about it. Now you can have differences of opinion naturally, so that the ideas that come up that get executed, because you got an idea and your business partner got an idea, y'all don't always think alike, and you're not supposed to think alike, because if you was thinking alike, then you couldn't come up with big ideas. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about contrarians, where everything you say, they say the difference. What's your name, bro? I'm Carl. Carl who? Carla contrarian. What's your name, girl? I'm Carla. Carla who? Carla the contrarian. What are you talking about? Whatever you say, I'm going to oppose it. Why? Because they're cowards, and cowards don't think big. Why? Because they haven't been assigned to you. How dare you walk right past your business partners that's been assigned to you, because they do big things, and why you feel more comfortable dealing with some little coward over here who do small things, because cowards, they don't do big things because they don't believe God. So that's the third partner I would have. The fourth partner I would have would be, if I was you and I want to do things big, and the message today is do the big thing. That's right. Do the big thing. Always do the big thing. The next thing I would do is I would definitely have a student mentor relationship. Every last one of us should have a student mentor relationship. We should have a big mentor in our life. You hear what I'm talking about? A big mentor. Everybody put in the chat, big mentor. You shouldn't have your mentor should be held in the highest esteem. Don't have them for a mentor. These half-hearted mentors in your life don't make no sense. I'm like, you one picked them. All right. So if they're gonna be a mentor in your life, that means you got to go hard at following the instructions of your mentor, and thank God you got one. Are you hearing me? Now listen, a coach and a mentor are two different things. I'm Rick the Wealth Coach. I coach a lot of people. All right, I coach a lot of people all over the world, but I only mentor a few people. You say, why is that, Brother Ricky? Because I ain't got time to mentor a whole lot of people. I only have a few people that I mentor. You say, Brother Ricky, you are my mentor. I'm like, if I don't know you and we ain't meeting, I'm not your mentor. I'm your coach. I can coach you from anywhere in the world. But when I mentor you, that's personal. That means you got to physically be around somebody to mentor them. You hear what I'm talking about? And you should have a mentor in your life, and it should be a big mentor, meaning that you should be running with whatever it is they tell you to do without spending a whole lot of time trying to figure it out. You say, well, Ricky, that's just naive. No, that's because you ain't used to doing things big. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? See, big mentors are so good at what they do. When you get around a big mentor, you do what it was that you was taught before you even understand it. Because mentors, the point of having a mentor is to speed up your process, to speed up your progress, because you are a human being and you are a chronic procrastinator, just like every other human being on the face of the earth. So what happens? What changes a person's behavior? You get around somebody who's doing something so big and they're doing it so fast and they're doing it at a rate that's so much superior to the rate you're currently doing it at until you just start walking in concert with that mentor. And by the time you start understanding what's going on, you're already rich. Why? Because the mentor was doing 10 times better than you, and that's why you picked the mentor in the first place, because they was already their actions, their behavior, their habits, everything was way more high powered than yours. And you should always have a mentor who would run rings around you. You don't get jealous because of it. You're like, man, that person run rings around me. That's why I'm getting down with them. Why? Because I need a mentor relationship, but it's got to be big. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? And I don't know if you ever saw the movie Malcolm X, and how when Denzel Washington was playing Malcolm X, and how the racist police had beat the hell out of his brother, and had his brother down at the hospital and beat the hell out of him, almost killed his brother. And Malcolm X, and they started walking towards the hospital, him and a whole bunch of community folk, and a lot of Muslims, I suppose, and just people in the community. Everybody wasn't no Muslim that was following Malcolm X. A lot of people just like the balls they had, so they might not even believed in Allah or Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad, and they might not even believe in that, but they like the fact that he was a mentor to them because he stood up to racism so much. And so he was Malcolm X was a big time mentor to a lot of people. So they was just walking down the street in the movie, at least they walking down the street to go check on his brother, and they walking like soldiers and stuff. So it's a young cat that's just standing there. He don't even know what's going on. But he does what? He just look at them walking like soldiers, and he just go over and jump in the crowd and start walking with them. Why? Because that's what mentors do. Mentors just show you how to walk through their example, and before you even know what you're walking into, you got the benefit of what the mentor is teaching you. That's why you got to get things. See, when God assigns you a mentor, He assigns you a big mentor. The question is do you want big mentorship? Because most people don't want big mentorship. Most people follow people from a distance, a long way away, not really even getting what's going on. And then, so when things don't go right, they can blame the person for what's wrong with them because they ain't been doing other stuff that the person is teaching them. They just sit from a long distance. And when things go bad in their life, then they ask them, so that way they can, pass some blame to somebody. But the whole point of being alive is not to be sitting around every day tricking off your time, trying to figure out who to blame for your misery or blame for your underachievement. The whole point of life is that somebody is way colder than I am, much colder than I am, knows how to get me someplace way faster. And what? And I'd be wasting time if I didn't have them. So you pay big mentors big money. You said, I got a mentor in my life. I'm like, well, how much you pay him? You're like, I paid him $5,000. I'm like, that ain't no mentor. All right. Like, anybody got time to mentor you for no $5,000? Like, you hear what I'm talking about? You pay big mentors big money. And this is not a commercial for me because I don't need your money. I'm just teaching you. Why? So when I started letting Myron Golden mentor me, the first thing I paid him was $55,000. And then when he said he had a better program that was $350, I was like, well, that's cool, because then we can get on a plane and fly around the world together and chop it up while we're in the air, and with some of the other colleagues and stuff like that. And I'm like, so I'll go along with that. I'm like, that's cool. Why? Because I wanted mentorship that could help me make 3 million. So I figured I paid 300,000 to make 3 million. Because I wanted mentorship that a 10x what it was that I wanted to do. And I knew the man was smarter than me. I knew he understood things about business that I didn't understand. I knew he understood things about offers that I didn't understand. I know he understood a whole lot of stuff I didn't understand. So I was glad they paying the man, and I wanted to pay big so I can learn big. Big learning equals big pay. All right. So everybody put in the chat, BL equals BP. So you say, Brother Ricky, I want me a mentor too. All right, pay him. Okay, pay the person. Be glad to pay the person. Most people, they idolize money so much. I'm like, look, you slow. Okay, you slow. By the time you figure out what's going on, the little money you got gonna be gone. So it make more sense for you to pay the money to a mentor so that you just won't lose your little money, because it's just gonna dwindle away. It's just like people hit the lottery, dead broke in a little while. Cats they get these NBA contracts, these NFL contracts. Most of these dudes end up poor. The lion's share of these people ain't even got no money. Why? Because they ain't have no mentor. Why? Because they didn't even think it was necessary to pay a mentor. I say, so either you pay a mentor or you pay through stupidity, because you're gonna make some bad moves and you're gonna lose that little money you got, because you can spend any amount of money. It don't matter how much money you got. You can spend it, you can trick it off, it'll be gone in a Mississippi second, but not if you had a mentor. All right. So big learning equals big pay. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't want no little pay. I don't want no little pay. I don't like being ignorant. All right. So I pay people big to tell me what to do. And when I say tell me what to do, I mean tell me what to do. Not ask me, tell me what to do. You're my mentor. Mentors don't ask you what to do. Mentors tell you what to do. You hear what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like to be told what to do. That's why they can't even have a mentor. Why? Because they want to come in and the mentor is telling them what to do, and then they want to coach the mentor. And I'm like, this ain't time for you to be coaching. This is time for you to be running these plays. Are you hearing me? Are you listening to what I'm talking about? I don't know how many folks get in the game and the coach started running the play. And then I got a better play than you. I'm like, if you had a better play than me, you should have been running it already. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? I ain't never seen people. I ain't never seen such an arrogant era in my life of broke, arrogant people. I'm like, listen, get you a mentor, somebody that knows more than what you know, pay them big, and then shut up and do what they tell you. All right? Just be quiet and just do what you're told. You say, I don't understand it. You ain't supposed to understand it. What? They ain't supposed to be telling you what you already doing. They're supposed to tell you what you ain't doing. And they ain't supposed to be telling you what make you feel good. They're supposed to be telling you what's going to actually move the needle. Ain't no real mentor running around agreeing with no broke person. Don't even make no sense. You 600 pounds and your mentor got a six pack. And then you trying to get a six pack like your mentor. And you show up with your mentor eating some Doritos, and your mentor say, put the Doritos down. You're like, no, man, it's got to be a way that I can still lose this 600 pounds eating Doritos. And your mentor like, no, you're not going to lose no 600 pounds eating them Doritos, man. Come on, we're going to go jogging right now. After we get through jogging, we're going to do some push-ups, then we're going to eat some fruit, then we're going to give you a smoothie, and you don't want to do none of that stuff. So you start trying to act like you got a better idea than the mentor. I'll just tell you big things, all right? So that's big marriages. Be married to God, make it big. Be married to your husband, your wife, make it big. Be married to your business partner, make it big. And be married to your mentor. Your mentor is not your business partner. All right? Unless you're that blessed. But a million times out of 1,000,001, your mentor is not your business partner. It's two different people. All right. Just because you got a business partner don't mean that you don't need no mentor. All right. Matter of fact, tell your business partner to get one too. And if it can be, and if your business partner, if y'all can have the same mentor, even better. Because that way both of y'all learn these things at a really rapid pace. All right. And for those of y'all who want to come over to my class, it starts in what time? 15 minutes. So if y'all want to come on over in 15 minutes, just put barter in the chat. And you come on over to my class tonight. And I'm going to show y'all how we got $1 million tax return. I'm going to show you how you put your money in the bank and they give your money back. All right. So I'm going to teach you that tonight. If you want to come over to my free class, it's called Barter with the Bank. All you got to do is just put the word barter in. And you can just come on over, right? It's free. You ain't got to pay no money. It's going to be starting in 15 minutes. Let me finish this real quick. All right. So then the next thing you want is some big money. Let me read something to you. You want some big money, and this is Proverbs 13:22. The Bible says, the wealth of the son is laid up for the just. A good man leaves a heritage to his children's children. So when God gives a money assignment, God gives a 3-generation money assignment. God will never give you a money assignment for you. Never. No. God's money assignments are big money assignments, all right? BMA, everybody put it in the chat. BMA, that should be the name of your bank. See, what's the name of your bank? Big money assignments. God gave me an assignment, what? For big money? Because God don't give no little money assignments. You hear what I'm talking about? Why? Because God is not like that. God gives a big money assignment because it's got to cover 3 generations. You hear what I'm talking about? So look at this. This is Psalms 90:10. And it says, the days of our years are 70. And if by reason of strength they be 80 years, yet is their strength labor and sorrow, but it is soon cut off and we fly away. So what is the psalmist saying? The psalmist is saying, when you labor for money, your stuff is soon cut off and you just fly away. Because there ain't nothing left. It ain't nothing left from labor. Labor don't produce no leftovers. Labor just does what? It's 1 generation stuff. Hey, listen what I'm talking about? So that's why the Bible says labor not to be rich. You want big money assignment. A big money assignment means what? That means you got to be doing big things with your money. That's one reason I'm teaching this barter class, so that you can do what? Put money in the bank, get all your money back. That's one reason. That's one reason why I teach this class. One reason why we live like this. Why? Because we want 3 generations worth of money. Are you hearing me? So the Bible says you promised. This is the promise to the people of God. 70 years. If you get anything more than 70 years, bless God. It's bonus time. All right. So let's think about it. You are you born on this earth. Let's say you start having your kids when you're 35. That's about what's going on these days. So let's say you're 35, right? Then your kids have a child when they're 35. All right. But let's say that you got 3 kids. All right. And say all 3 of those kids, they had 3 kids. All right. So that means you got 9 kids now. That's grandkids. And you got 3 kids. That's your kids. That means you got 12 kids that you're responsible for being rich before you die. So that means what? If it's $1 million a piece, that means you need 12 million, not need, but that means that your big money goal or your big money assignment, if you got 3 kids right now, is 12 million, and they got 3 kids apiece, is $12 million before you die. Now, how in the world are you gonna have $12 million before you die doing stuff like putting money in a bank account? How you gonna have $12 million before you die and you ain't got no business? How you gonna have $12 million before you die and you ain't got no Bitcoin? All the stuff that produces millions of dollars when you producing hundreds of dollars. And what? God ain't in that stuff because God money assignments are big. You don't get no small money assignments. God did not ordain your money being in no savings account because that's a little money assignment. He didn't ordain your money being in no annuity. That's a little money assignment. He didn't ordain your money being in no CD. That's a little money assignment. Are you hear what I'm talking about? So it don't make no sense to have this little money, having your money assigned to these little bitty things because that ain't God. It ain't God. God ain't gonna assign you some stuff that's gonna have you dead, leave it dead broke. And you can't leave 3 generations. All right. So I gotta hurry because we only got 11 minutes left. All right, so let me put it this way. So the last thing, I only got 10 minutes left, so I gotta hurry up. So big marriages, y'all got that? Number 2. And I gave you all the people you married to. Number 2, big money. It's got to come in big. All right. I was just on the bank. I just got off this plane, right? And a young lady was sitting next to me. She said, she was complimenting me and stuff. Talking about, you really got some nice clothes on and stuff. Little young white girl. I'm pretty sure she was flirting. She said, you got some, the show look nice there. Your fingernails manicured. Wow, that's really nice. I was like, yeah, God bless you, young lady. What's happening? She said, what do you do? I said, I teach people about wealth. I definitely need you in my life. I said, what? I said, it's possible. I said, so I started telling her how she could find out what we do online and all that. And she was like, but can I just can we just have a conversation sometime? I said it's $50,000 an hour. I said it'd be better for you to like go online and like pay attention to what's going on. I said, but I can give you a little advice while we talking here together, before the plane jumped down. So she started showing me some accounts. So she showed me an account that was making 5% interest in the bank. Now what's amazing is that the bank tell you that this is a high yielding bank account. If that ain't big pimping, I don't know what it is. Everybody put BP in the chat. It's amazing how somebody tell us something and we'll accept what they said, even though it's totally ridiculous. What's so high yielding about making 5% on your money? You don't even get the money back. All you get is 5% on the money. What's so high yielding about that? So let's do a little math right quick. Okay, so I showed her an account. She showed me an account. She's making 5% on. Take all year. So she showed me an account. Let's say it was 100. Let's say you make $100,000 and you put your $100,000 in the bank. Let's just say you do that. All right. And let's say you make 5% on your money. So that's what, $105,000 by the end of the year, right? 105 took all year to make 5,000 little measly dollars. All right. But the last thing you got to do is you got to have big management. So not only should you be making big money, but that money should be managed. In other words, the money that you get, you ought to be able to keep it. So I told her, I said, young lady, you don't realize that. I said, but that account, she was showing me the account. I said, that account, I said, it's going to be worth less when you get through paying taxes on it. It's going to be less than what you put in it. All right, let me prove it to you. So $105,000, right? So that puts you in a 22.8% tax bracket, right? 100,000. So that comes out to about $23,000 that you would pay in taxes if you make $100,000, if you earn $105,000, all right, because you're gonna take that money and put it in the bank, right? Then you got to pay interest, got to pay taxes on the little money that you made. So 22%, that's gonna get you down to about $80,000 that account is gonna be worth in real life. So you put in you earned $105,000, but in real life you get taxed, and you're gonna give up about $23,000 of that. So you end up with about $80,000. So that's what. That's small management. That's ridiculous. That means you got less money than what you started with. That's the way most of y'all living. The way most of y'all living, y'all making the banks rich because you don't have big management. You have small management. In fact, you ain't even really got no management because you're having negative returns every year. All right. So everybody put NNR in the chat. No negative returns. I don't put up with that. Now you say, but brother Rick, ain't your accounts volatile like your Bitcoin and stuff? Because I showed on one of my accounts. She showed me her account, and then I showed on one of my accounts. that made $250,000. Well, 200,000 went down a little bit now. $200,000 in 3 weeks. So I showed her account that had. I showed her an account that made $200,000 in 2 weeks. She was showing me an account that made $5,000 in a whole year, and she had to pay taxes on it. So I showed her account that made $200,000 in 2 weeks, and ain't got to pay no taxes on it. Keep all the money. All right. So that's the idea that I want to convey to you all tonight. Do everything big. Okay. Do everything big. Handle your marriages big, and make sure you make big money. And the biggest money you can make today is getting your money back from the bank like we do, and buying Bitcoin. Man, you make so much money over these next 2 or 3 years, you'll be able to reach that goal of having what? The generational money for 3 generations. You'll be able to reach it. I'm talking about you can make some of that money in the next year or two, in the next 2 or 3 years, and especially while Trump in office. Y'all better get rich. You better buy as much of them coins as you can while Trump is in office. You ain't got to buy them through me. You do whatever make you the most sense, okay? Because I got $1 million crypto club. I ain't even trying to recruit you into that. All right. Oh, but I did give a Bitcoin class, and if you want the replay of that, you can still get it. It's still available. Just put Bitcoin replay. All right, because we got a little group that you can get in. It don't hardly cost nothing to get in. All right, but it's going to run out on June the 1st, because we really ain't trying to do all that stuff. We just buying the stuff ourselves. But when we tell you about, we got a little group for you to get in, and it ain't the thieves and all these people be trying to cheat y'all. It's me. It's actually us. Then you want to holler, but you can watch my video and you know exactly what to do. You know it ain't the fake dude. So just put in Bitcoin replay. Just put that in the chat if you want to look at it. You said it was a great replay. Good. I'm glad you watched it. Okay. So Bitcoin replay, quick. Put that in there if you want that. All right. Okay. So that's all my announcements, and we're about to go on over and have class right now. So do it big. Big marriages, big money, big management. Big marriages, big money, big management. Because all his assignments are big. I command you about the authority of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Stop doing little stuff. I command you to start behaving like the big assignment that's been assigned to you. All right? You can do it. Hey, listen to me. You can do it, brother. You can do it, sister. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Hey, Brother Ricky, for your challenge, are there any additional costs? No, just whatever the price of the challenge is. Nope, just whatever the price of the challenge is on the page. If you haven't never been to a challenge, just comment challenge. You can come to. So the challenge is just so you can get to know us and we get to know you, so you can come find out how to get down with us. Because the challenge just introduce you to our idea of how we live. And then we got a whole year program, and that's a whole nother story. But the challenge is the only way that you can get in touch with us. If you don't do no challenge, you can't never buy no trust or nothing with us, because we ain't in no hurry for all that. All right. So I'm giving y'all some good advice. You ain't never got to come to no challenge. I'm giving y'all some good advice. I'm gonna have a free class right now. You come on over. I'm gonna teach you how to barter with the bank. I'm giving y'all free advice on Bitcoin. Just free advice. It's just my community service. Okay. I just want y'all to go do some stuff that makes sense to you. All right. I want to have some millionaire colleagues. All right. I want you to be able to afford my prices, to buy the different things that people pay for. All right. And so y'all can just go take some of this information and just go out and do some of this stuff. Don't pay me no money. If you ain't hardly got no money, don't pay me nothing. Just take my free information. Just go make some money. And then by the time we get together, it won't be no big deal. You hear what I'm talking about? Okay. All right. I'm going to move on over. I'll see you all in a second. Everybody, barter with the bank. If you want to come on over, we're going to start right now. I'll give you about 60 more seconds quickly. Put in the word barter. If you want to come on over, put in the word barter. We're going to start right now, 2 or 3 minutes. And we're going to be in and out of here in about an hour, because I got jet lag, so I'm not going to be talking long. All right. So barter, not harden. Jeanette, barter, BARTER. Just put it in the chat real quick if you want to come over. And you're welcome to come over. And if you want to share that link in a few seconds, share it with somebody. Let them know, Brother Ricky's going to break down his bartering with the bank in his private Zoom. And come on over, baby. Especially if you got some kids and somebody to be asking you for money. Yeah, you better come to this class. All right. You better come find out what we're doing over here. All right. I love you all. Have a beautiful, spectacular day. I'll see some of you all in a few minutes. And for everybody else, be blessed in the city and be blessed in the field. And remember, a stellar is a stellar does. I'll see some of you all right now.